This is the VOA Special English Agriculture Report. Bulbs are underground plant stems. They provide food for a shoot. Some bulbs produce flowers year after year. Gardening experts say tulips, daffodils, and other bulbs are not very difficult to grow. Bulbs do well in climates with a cold season. They are placed in the ground about the time of the first frost. But with the right preparation, they can also grow well in places where the ground never freezes. Mike Lizotte of American Meadows, an online store, says before you start, you need to know whether to plant tender bulbs or hardy bulbs. If you live in a cold area, a tender bulb will need special care when the growing season is over.
If you want that bulb to survive or come back, you would literally have to dig it out of the ground and bring it inside into a warm area, because it will not survive, or it would get killed by the cold temperatures.
But Mike Lizotte says a hardy bulb can stay in the ground all year.
A hardy bulb is one that prefers cold temperatures, so therefore it can be left in the ground, such as a daffodil or a tulip.
Sandra Mason from the University of Illinois Extension Service has some suggestions to get a good start on planting bulbs. First, the most important thing is to choose a place with soil that drains well.
How wet the soil is. That ends up being a big issue for certain areas. If you have a lot of clay in your soil, you may find that bulbs either don't last a long time for you, as in just a couple of years, or you may find they just don't do very well at all and they actually rot in the soil.
Sandra Mason suggests planting most big bulbs, like tulips or daffodils, about 15 to 20 centimeters deep. Smaller bulbs can be planted about 7 to 10 centimeters deep. She says she enjoys planting smaller ones like snowdrop bulbs.
I love planting those because you don't have to dig a very deep hole. We like those.
Bulbs should be planted with their pointed end up, toward the surface. But some bulbs do not seem to have a pointy end. In that case, Ms. Mason says, look for an eye that might have a stem. But don't worry if you cannot find one.
The good news is the bulbs will figure it out.
Do not use fertilizer for the first year. After that, if you do fertilize the bulbs, do not mix the fertilizer in the planting hole. It could burn the roots. There is a trick people can use to grow bulbs in places where the ground never freezes. Keep the bulbs cold in a refrigerator for about 3 months. Then take them out and let them get used to the warmth. Now, the bulbs will be ready to develop normally, colorful blooms and all. And that's the VOA Special English Agriculture Report, written by Geraldine Watson. Share your gardening stories and get more advice at voaspecialenglish.com. We're also on the VOA Learning English page on Facebook. I'm Bob Doty.